Hello. I'm excited. My question is about the word or the reference that we always make. I come from a metaphysical background, and I've been working with you for the past years. And it's about the unconscious. And I've heard it used in various ways, like Esther receives blocks through her unconscious of you.
Blocks of thoughts, and she translates them at an unconscious level.
Okay. Perfect. And I want to hear from you. What is the story of the unconscious? What is it? Where it come from? How did it develop? We're born fully aware and fully conscious. So where does this unconscious thing?
Well, humans have turned the idea of the unconscious mind into something that is different than we mean it. For example, people will say, I fear that my unconscious thoughts may be driving my point of attraction. And since I'm unconscious of them, I cannot do anything about it. So how can I be the creator of my own reality if unconscious thoughts are having an impact? And we always say, if you are feeling no emotion around it, then there is not enough vibration or consciousness happening to affect you. And if you are feeling emotion around it, it's not unconscious. So when we say, for example, Esther is receiving blocks of thought from Abraham, and at an unconscious level she is translating them into the physical word equivalent, what we're talking about is it's a vibration that we're projecting that is not necessarily familiar to Esther. She is finding the familiarity of the vibration and finding physical world equivalents, but she is not repeating words that we are whispering in her ear. Every thought that has ever been thought still exists, and by law of attraction is expanding. But you cannot be focused on every thought that has ever been thought. It is your focused attention to a vibration that activates it within you that makes it, in this dialogue, what we would call conscious. There are many things that you have lived that you're not living now, that were once active in your vibration, that are not active in your vibration now, and therefore they're playing no role in your point of attraction. There are some things that you lived that got your attention, like when the train ran over your toe or something like that, that you held as a point of consciousness because you keep remembering it, you keep reactivating it, you keep regurgitating it, you continue to talk about it. There's much in your history as a civilization that you would be well to leave out of your active vibration. But you build your monuments and you tell your stories and you keep those things unwanted then and unwanted now active in your vibration, so you continue to repeat them. So we would, to be very accurate, replace the word unconscious or conscious with active or inactive.
My partner and I get on we feel like we're at the cusp again where some really big things are going to happen. And then it seems like that old rumbling, now I know what to call it, it's still rumbling, that lack, shortage. In fact, when we met you, we were down and out, food stamps, utility assistance. There's no comparison to where we are now. But I think that old patterning or that old thought, like you said, that old feeling, that rumbling of that, is it going to last? Can I keep it going? We've been here for a long time. Is this as good as it gets? But then I know, no, it gets better and better and better.
Well, when you awaken from a dream and you now acknowledge that the dream reflects a vibration that's going on within you.
Oh, and bouncing checks in the dream. Sorry.
So when you awaken from a dream that has those unsettling feelings around it, and you consciously acknowledge that while it's not what you're living, it must be something that you're worrying about. And then you awaken from the dream and you deliberately reach for better feeling downstream thoughts around it, as you just did. There's no comparison. We're on a roll. And then you acknowledge, I think what I'm worried about is, can I keep this up? Will things continue to improve? Or will we turn back to something that we were living before? And then you acknowledge, no, we're constantly in a state of expansion and we cannot go back. When life causes you to become more, you can never go back. In other words, that's the reason that people feel negative emotion. Life caused you to be this, and when you don't go, you don't feel good. And when you try to go in opposition, you really don't feel good. In other words, you can't feel good and not move in the direction of your expansion. So you awaken from a dream like that and you say, that dream didn't feel good, but let me analyze it a little bit. It's based upon how we were living, not based upon how we are living. And I'm so appreciative of a dream like this because it brings to my awareness that I've got some vibrations going on. In fact, hear this, it helped what I would have formerly called unconscious patternings to come to my conscious mind where I can deal with them. They were moving around within me. I was oblivious to them. And because my desire for expansion, conscious, deliberate expansion, is so powerful, I was given a dream to bring it into conscious awareness where now I can do something about it. Good for you. That. And then it's just a matter of talking yourself into a better feeling place. You see, you do things, all of you do. You make comments that you've made out of habit that don't match who you now are and what you now want, but you don't realize you're doing it sometimes. So you got some thoughts like that going pretty strong, which produced thoughts like this. Over a long period of time, there was enough of that going on that you've got a really strong river moving now, and your negative thoughts are showing up much more stridently, much more obvious to you now because your river is moving faster. You just can't sit in those negative thoughts.
No, I get knocked down pretty fast.
You would so much rather be in a swift moving river with the current beating up on you a bit than sitting in a stagnant pond. And so be glad that the river is moving and be glad that you have awareness, and don't nitpick over what point you recognize you're moving counter to the stream. Don't nitpick about it. Be glad every time that you've noticed it. You never say, oh, ow, damn fingers, ow, ow, ow. Oh, you sensitive hand. If you just weren't so sensitive, I could have my way with the stove. It wouldn't be a problem, but I'm so sensitive. We want you to praise your sensitivity because that's how you become keenly aware. And sensitivity allows you subtle nuances in moving in the stream. And that's creating at its best. In other words, how delicious it is to be this source creator and to be in an environment of variety and to see stuff you don't want, which makes you clear about what you do want. And then to realize that you're actually vibrating more here on what you don't want than you are here on what you do want, but you're aware of it, and that's good. So you're on a regular basis reaching for something that feels better and reaching for something that feels better, and little by little, we're talking about days or weeks, coming into alignment with what you have given birth to. And now you're in alignment with it. Oh, it feels hopeful. It feels invigorating. It feels exciting. And now you have the benefit of getting to see manifestations starting to show up. And this time you've got the conscious awareness that you carved it out of the contrast by knowing what you didn't want. You knew what you did want. And you used your guidance system to come into alignment with it. And now you have the benefit of seeing it manifest. And now you're beginning to feel invincible. If you can do that relative to any one little thing, you can do that relative to every big thing. You can do that relative to anything. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. If you want it and you have the ability to know how you feel so you can get pointed toward it, you can achieve it. No exceptions. You see a handful of people doing extraordinary things and the majority of people doing very mediocre or mundane things. And we don't mean by universal standards or by God's standards. We mean so many people not meeting their own prerequisites for living a good life, complaining all the time, because they're not keeping up to speed with what life has caused them to want. And we say, now for those, the likes of you, you just have no excuse anymore. You know too much. You know too much. You know who you are. You know what life has caused you to become. You know what your guidance is telling you. You've got no more excuses. And for those like you, and you already know this, a little bit of counter-contradictory thought feels much more emphatic to you. People say, Abraham, is it normal for all hell to break loose in my life once I begin doing Abraham work? And we say, pretty much. Because now you are consciously aware of who you have become. And you got to keep up with you. You just got to keep up with you if you are to feel good. You can't go back. There is no shrinking of the universe. It's always forward moving. So you could say, and accurately so, that the contrast that you think you would like to do without is really the stuff that puts the eternalness in eternity. It's very good stuff. So we said it earlier, the sicker you are, the weller you really are vibrationally. The poorer you are, the richer you really are vibrationally.
I figured I must be really rich.
You are, but that upstream thought won't get you there anytime soon.
No, I was joking. No, but because of my past childhood.
Doesn't matter. You're activating it now.
Okay. Boy.
In other words, whether it's...
I really got this stream moving, don't I?
Yes, you do. Whether you're thinking of thought of the past or of the present or of the future, you're doing it now. You're doing it right now, so it's active within you now. Just remind yourself, if you're not feeling anything around it, it's not big enough to be affecting you. And if you are feeling it, it's not unconscious.
Got it. Thank you.
Further over. So everything that we'll be talking about here today is about your emotions. It's about relief. And most of all, it's about closing the gap. And these are the words we want you to leave here remembering. You want to find ways to more and more allow you to keep up with who you are. You must let yourself be you. And every time you feel negative emotion, you're not letting yourself be you. Esther's been having a good time with this, especially recently as we've been talking about this stream. She really gets this feeling of relief, and she wants so much to see her world through the eyes of Source. But every now and again she gets hung up on something. She'll say, but Abraham, that's just not right. I would never do that to someone. And we say, Esther, you don't get to set the standard for the world. And she will say, but I'll bet you that if I had an opportunity to poll all the people that are around me that sort of know what I know here in this nation, I'll bet you that most of them would agree with me that I am right. And we say, that gets you into so much trouble, all of you, as you try to gather consensus of others. We want you to care more about how you feel than about being right. Because that's the ultimate rightness, you know. The ultimate rightness is coming into alignment with Source. And when you come into alignment with Source, and law of attraction is responding to that aligned you, only well-being can be yours. But when you are justifying or rationalizing or explaining some wrongdoing, you've got yourself out there on the raw and ragged edge. You are disconnected from who you are. And even though Source energy is calling you powerfully toward who you have become, you're not going is what's tearing you apart. It's not what they did that is destructive to your experience. It's not what somebody else did that is destroying your health. It's what you're doing with your own vibrational discord, you see. When physicians and scientists begin looking for vibrational causes rather than medical cures, they'll really be onto something. Because at the heart of every dis-ease is dis-ease. At the heart of every negative emotion is contradicted energy. So we say, if you've got some negative emotion about something and you've learned to live with it, so you don't do anything about it, don't worry, it will get bigger. Law of attraction says that it must. Because the more you live with it, the more you'll throw more into your vibrational escrow. The more you throw into your vibrational escrow, the faster your stream moves. The faster your stream moves, the more you feel uncomfortable in not moving with it. And so the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. Law of attraction says that it must. This gathering is about caring about how you feel, which means caring about closing the gap, which means caring about offering one signal, which means caring about seeing your world through the eyes of the evolved source being that is you. What do you want to talk about? Begin right here. Yes.